two-piece outfits are basically twins. It reminded me of the NFC Championship game because yet again, this defense got steamrolled. I mean, granted, Kirk Cousins threw it a few more times. Jimmy only threw it 6 times, but he didn't attempt a single pass or complete a single pass, rather more than 10 yards. See, they're twins, guys. Look at that. It's uncanny. It didn't complete a single pass more than 10 yards downfield. We knew what this offense was going to do. They came in bad weather. They wanted to run the football, and Green Bay still couldn't stop them. This team has punted on the linebacker position, and we're seeing the effect of that year after year, and I'm surprised they haven't made more of an effort to address it.
I like that you in defense, and I like how we getting this day started off early on this show, because I could tell it's going to be a good one. Listen, the addressing of the wide receiver spot is what everybody has been paying attention to, and I thought this team was fine, honestly, Dan and Nina, when Lazard was playing at his level and they were waiting for Devontae to get back. But as soon as that injury happened, it was pushed to the forefront that they needed to try to get someone else in there to complement what Devontae does on the other side.
We did
have their struggles. Aaron Rodgers is solely focused on Devontae and making plays and the guy that he trusts. Tanya came in at tight end. Valdez Scanlon has not turned out to be a guy. He's had moments ups
That's
and
what
downs.
I've been saying.
But we were seeing Lazard transition into being a legit two and a guy that can make plays down the field based on what we watched them do in New Orleans in particular. But when that transpired, they should have been players in the field for a wide receiver. And for them in their organization,
exactly.
they have a guy, they don't. They don't, because they are not watching.
Okay, I'll just mute it. And here it is. Here's what it says. Packers make no moves today before trade deadline. So, we need a receiver. We need a linebacker. And what does our genius of a general manager do? He sits on his ass and twiddles his thumbs and doesn't do a thing. Houston was going to give us a second-round draft pick. No, I'm wrong. Houston, I mixed it up. Houston wanted a second-round draft pick for one of their receivers, Will Fuller, the fifth. Will Fuller, he's pretty damn good. He's a pretty damn good receiver. They have him and our old boy Randall Cobb. They're pretty good. We wanted Fuller. I'd have been fine with either one. We wanted Fuller, and all we had to give up was a second-round draft pick. That's basically like getting a Mercedes-Benz for only $1,000. No. Too steep. Fuck you. This is another reason why Rodgers only has one ring. It's the defense, it's the lack of weapons, and it's the lack of insight upstairs. It's the lack of insight. We believe, for some reason, in the concept of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, which is a saying I love, but it doesn't apply to everything. It does not apply to everything. We need another target. Okay? I mean, like it was said on ESPN, things were fine with Lazard and Adams, but then Adams got banged up. But even when Adams got banged up, we still have Lazard, but Lazard's been out for weeks. And Adams just now returned, but we still have that void. We needed to fill that void, and that void is still there, even when we had the chance to fill it. And go and stay on to the subject of week 8. Last night, the Giants played. The Giants have not one but two of our former linebackers. One of them really good, and one of them a favorite. Blake Martinez. Blake was out there showing out in that game. Fackrell has a defensive touchdown this year. These are the people we gave up. And because of this, we need another linebacker, and we're not getting that. Ugh. I swear to God. It's ugh. I don't know who's dumber. The Packers front office or WWE creative, well, mainly Vince, because he's the biggest idiot up there. But I really don't know who's dumber. It's just disgusting. But Staying on to the subject of hand of week 8, I just want to get my frustrations about the trade deadline and the lack of activity, just letting things slide. Ugh. But anyway, week 8, of course, I already vented about this a few days ago, and Packers actually went on to lose that game, 28-22. Rodgers, as usual, he did his thing, and the defense just went to sleep. Just went to sleep. And again, it's bad enough I had to deal with the frustration of the trade deadline, and I had to deal with the annoyance of Election Day. I hate politics. I can't stand it. That's all I'll say about it. But anyway, so we lost at home too. A division loss at home, which is never good. But thankfully, we're still in first place because the Saints pulled it out against the Bears, barely, but they did. An overtime thriller, and the Saints won. Will Lutz with a game-winning field goal. It was a back-and-forth. There's been a lot of back-and-forth overtimes lately, which is really good. Even with the touchdown rule, you still get the one possession and done OTs where the team that wins the coin toss goes all the way and that's it. But again, play defense. That's what that rule was made for. But anyway, the Falcons start off week 8. I'm still a bit frustrated. The Falcons start off week 8 with a win in Carolina. Wow. So they got their second win of the season. Good for them. The Jets are halfway to futility. They got blasted by the Chiefs, and now they're 0-8. Oh my goodness. Are they really gonna be the NFL's third 0-16 team in history? Odds say they will, but I don't know, and I'll explain why later. What else happened? Oh yeah, Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger is wearing the team's win total on his jersey. They are 7-0, but it wasn't easy. It never is against Baltimore. Baltimore seems to play them tough, which always boggles me because Baltimore doesn't have much. I would think Pittsburgh would just blow them out, but it was a battle, but they survived, and now they're 7-0, and they're gonna be 8-0 next week. This is up after Sunday. Let's face facts. Rams had a terrible day. Well, Jared Goff did. They lost to the Dolphins due to too many turnovers from Goff. It was Tua Tagovailoa's NFL debut. Well, his first NFL start, and he shined. So Dolphins are 4-3. The Rams are down to 5-3, and I'm kind of wondering about them because they got 5 wins. Right, they're 5-3. They're 5 wins. 4 of those wins were against the entire NFC East, and the other one was against the Bears. So that makes one wonder if the Rams are for real. Raiders beat the Browns 16-6. Terrible score. I hope this is the case of the Browns kind of falling to earth. It shouldn't be because they got a bye next week. Not that they host Houston, so that should improve the things to 6-3. I still see 10 wins for them, and they're going to make the playoffs. They should. Bills beat New England by a score of 24-21. Patriots are 2-5. Whoever thought we'd see that, especially since they have a better quarterback than Brady. The upset of the week. Well, some would say the Vikings was the upset of the week, but I think by a hair it's the Bengals. The Bengals beat Tennessee, a team that was once 5-0. Now they've lost back-to-back games, and it makes things interesting. The AFC South, there's a tie now. Colts won, so it's Colts and Titans at 5-2. So now we got a race here. It should be interesting to see how the season goes in that division. I kind of still see Tennessee winning the division, but who knows? Who knows? A lot can happen. A lot can happen in the next 9 weeks. We're in the heart of this season. Seahawks got another win in spite of Russell Wilson not being a good quarterback. 37-27 against the Niners. The Niners. Oh, the Niners. That team is cooked. Again, that team is cooked. It breaks my heart. And yeah, we played them a couple days, but it still breaks my heart that this team is cooked. Literally everybody is hurt again. And they got some of the players back, but they're out again. Jimmy Garoppolo, their quarterback, got hurt during that game. He's out for 6 weeks. George Kittle, one of the best tight ends in the league, got re-injured again. I think it's a foot problem or ankle problem, whatever it is. He's out for the year. They say he's out for the year. It's 8 weeks. It may as well be the season, unless they make the playoffs. They still have a kind of a shot, despite Niner fans throwing in the towel. Mostert's still out, and I just heard Tevin Coleman, who I think is another running back, we won't face him either. And Nick Bosa, who's one of the best defensive players, he's been out forever. So the team is just cooked, and it makes me wonder what kind of deal they made to go to the Super Bowl, because I think there's some sort of weirdo kind of payment that's happening. They're suffering. They pissed off somebody. You know, injuries like that don't happen in bunches to teams who just went to the Super Bowl. No, something's up. Something's up. I always believe in a higher power, and a higher power is punishing them somehow. I don't know for what, but something's wrong. Another Big Ben DiNucci, made his starting debut for the Cowboys. It didn't go too well. They lost 23-9, and the Eagles have a stranglehold at first place at 3-4-1. Isn't that division beautiful? Cowboys are 2-6, still have an outside shot, but they haven't scored a touchdown in each of the last 2 games. And of course, I mentioned the Giants. The Giants, they were close, but in the end, the Buccaneers beat the Giants. But the fact that Brady barely survived a 1-win team further proves my point. He can't survive the NFC. Watch what I tell you. Especially in January, if they make the playoffs, he'll get killed. So that's week 8 in a nutshell. Some heartbreak, some despair, some disappointment, thrills, chills, and all sorts of spills. Mostly in a bad way. Again, my heart goes to the Niners. I don't like this, and it makes me enjoy. And it kind of sucks some of the a bit of the anticipation for Thursday's game, because I had circled November 5th in my mental calendar ever since the schedule was announced, because that's the payback game. You know, Packers Niners in Santa Clara too, or as I call it, Aaron Rodgers' kryptonite. But we're not facing the entire team. Pretty much all of the players, pretty much all the main players for that Niners team, out. Pretty much all of them. And that includes Deebo Samuel. He's out too. So it's not the same. It's not the same. But even so, we still need to win this game because this team is cooked. And that increases the chances of Packer win here. I hate to say it, but it's true. I just hope we get 1 or 2 of our players back. I want Jones to be back. I want Lazard to be back too. And I say Lazard was close to playing that Sunday, so he might play this Thursday. But that game, that NFC Championship rematch, starts week 9 this Thursday. Other games on the till here. Another NFC East thriller: Giants and Washington. Washington was the one team that lost to the Giants this year. Lions and Vikings face each other in a NFC North clash. Bears face the Titans. Titans should break that 2-game skid. Bills and Seahawks face each other in Buffalo. Ravens face the Colts. I mentioned the Steelers are going to go 8-0. That's because they face Dallas. Oh my God. Saints versus Buccaneers is the NBC game, and it features the Buccaneers debut of Antonio Brown. That's right, he's back, baby. My goodness. And the Monday night game is Patriots and Jets. Oh boy, the 2-5 Patriots and the 0-8 Jets. Whoever thought both of these teams would be this bad this late in the season? And I'm gonna make a bold prediction. The Jets are gonna win that game. You heard it here first. The Jets are gonna win. That's going to be their first win. They're at home. They have a shot. And the Patriots are a mess. So the Jets have a shot. This is their one shot. So that's my review of Week 8 and a little bit of the trade deadline. And I'll be back to review Week 9 next week. Hopefully with good news regarding the Packers. So until then.